everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are fine. In today's class, I'm going to start a lesson, plasma membrane. In the previous lesson, we have discussed about the cell and the cell parts. Cell is nothing but a basic structural and functional unit of all the living organisms. All the living organisms are made up of number of cells, and that cells shows the different parts which we have already discussed. So let us recall that parts, and the parts includes cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and other cell organelles. So we have also discussed about the functions of each part in your first chapter, and in this lesson I am going to explain you about the cell membrane, which is also called as plasma membrane, in detail. Okay. So the cell membrane is also called as plasma membrane because when we look at the structure of the cell, the contents or the cell organelles which are present inside the cell, they all together can be termed as plasma. So as the plasma is surrounded by a membrane, we can call the cell membrane as plasma membrane also. That is the reason the cell membrane is also called as plasma membrane. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the plasma membrane in detail, okay? And when we see the function of the plasma membrane, then the cell membrane or the plasma membrane helps the substances to move in or to move out of the cell. The transport of the substances, the transportation of the substances can be achieved through this cell membrane or the plasma membrane of all the cells. So this is a major function of the plasma membrane that we can see. It helps in the transport of the materials to move in and also to move out of the cell. So let us see the list of the substances that moves in or that moves out of the cell. So when we see the water can move through the cell membrane into the cell, and some of the water can comes out of the cell also. The water which enters into the cell, they can be utilized to carry out the biochemical reactions, and the water which is not needed by the cell, that can comes out of the cell through this plasma membrane only. And the oxygen is a gas which moves into the cell. After entering into the cell, that oxygen is utilized in carrying out the different activities, and it cannot comes out of the cell. It is not sent out of the cell through the cell membrane. Okay. When we talk about the proteins, then proteins directly cannot enter into the cell. These proteins in the form of amino acids. We know that chain of amino acids forms the protein. So in the form of amino acids, the proteins can be entered into the cell, and when the amino acids enter into the cell, the chain of amino acids results in the formation of a proteins. So in this way, the proteins can enter into the cell, and they can also comes out of the cell after the synthesis of proteins. Okay. The glucose is a substance which can enter into the cell, and it also comes out of the cell during the process called respiration. Respiration is a process in which the glucose is formed when oxygen is combined with the food, then it results in the formation of energy in the process of respiration. Okay. So this is the process in which the glucose is formed. So this glucose can move into the cell, and it also comes out of the cell through the membrane called plasma membrane. And vitamins are also the substances that can move into the cell and out of the cell through the cell membrane. And the carbon dioxide is a gas which do not enter into the cell. It is not needed by the cell, but it comes out of the cell. Carbon dioxide is produced as a waste material in the cell, and that carbon dioxide comes out of the cell through the plasma membrane. And the waste like urea and uric acid, it is also formed during the different biochemical activities. So the formation of urea and the uric acid in the cells, it cannot be accumulated in the cells. So this needs to be removed out of the cells. That is the reason the waste materials do not enter into the cells. It always removes or it always comes out of the cell through the plasma membrane. So this is a list of certain substances by which we can understand that some of the substances are required by the cells and some of are eliminated by the cell, and certain substances are present that moves into the cell and it also comes out of the cell through the membrane called plasma membrane. So this is about the different substances that can go into the cell through the plasma membrane and it can also comes out of the cell through the plasma membrane. हमें तो पता है कि लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स सेल्स के बने हुए हैं और सेल में बहुत सारे पार्ट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, जैसा कि सेल वॉल है, सेल मेम्ब्रेन है, साइटोप्लाज्म, न्यूक्लियस, सेल ऑर्गेनेल्स. ठीक है, ये सारे पार्ट्स और इसके फंक्शंस हमने पहले पढ़ लिया है, लेकिन ये वाला ऐसा लेसन है जिसमें हम सेल मेम्ब्रेन, जिसको हम प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन भी कह सकते हैं, इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है, तो सेल मेम्ब्रेन एक मेम्ब्रेन है जो कि प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर की तरह काम करता है, सेल के अराउंड प्रेजेंट होता है. ठीक है, तो ये वाले मेम्ब्रेन को हम प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन भी बोल सकते हैं. तो सेल मेम्ब्रेन एक ऐसा मेम्ब्रेन है जो कि सेल के अराउंड प्रेजेंट होता है, जो थोड़े से सब्सटेंसेस को मूव इन होने के लिए हेल्प करता है और थोड़े से सब्सटेंसेस को मूव आउट होने के लिए हेल्प करता है. ठीक है, तो ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ मटेरियल्स इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ सेल मेम्ब्रेन. तो अभी हम बात करेंगे थोड़े से सब्सटेंसेस की जो कि सेल के अंदर भी जाएंगे और सेल के बाहर भी आएंगे थ्रू अ मेम्ब्रेन कॉल्ड प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. तो वाटर एक ऐसा सब्सटेंस है जो कि सेल के अंदर भी जाएगा एक्टिविटीज को कैरी आउट करने के लिए. थोड़े से ऐसे सब्सटेंसेस होते हैं जो सेल के अंदर भी जाते हैं और सेल के बाहर भी आते हैं, लेकिन थोड़े से ऐसे सब्सटेंसेस होते हैं जो सिर्फ सेल में एंटर हो सकते हैं लेकिन वो मूव आउट नहीं होंगे, जैसा कि है ऑक्सीजन. और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक ऐसा सब्सटेंस है जो सिर्फ सेल के बाहर आता है, यानी वो एंटर नहीं होगा. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक टॉक्सिक और द वेस्ट मटेरियल है जो कि सेल के अंदर एंटर नहीं होगा बल्कि सेल के बाहर ही आएगा मेम्ब्रेन के थ्रू, जिसको हम बोलेंगे प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. सो दिस हैपेंस थ्रू द सेल मेम्ब्रेन. द सेल मेम्ब्रेन और द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन इज अ प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर ऑफ द सेल which allows the suitable substances to come or to enter into the cell. It is not blindly allowing all the substances or all the materials to move in or to goes out of the cell. It is selectively permeable. It is allowing only the selected substances to move in, and it is also allowing only the select substances to goes out of the cell. So in this way it is also called as the selectively permeable membrane. And there is a mechanism by which the transport of materials across the cell membrane takes place. To understand that mechanisms, we need to do some activities, and to do that activities, first we need to understand how to prepare a solution and also to prepare a saturated solution. In some of the activities we also need saturated solution, so we need to understand how to prepare the solution and how to prepare the saturated solution. Okay, so to prepare the solution we need solute and solvent. What do you understand by the term solute? The solute is nothing but a solid which can be dissolved into the solvent, which gets dissolved in the solvent. That type of solid we can call it as a solute. Okay, and the solvent is a liquid. It is a kind of liquid in which the solute gets dissolved. So this is a solute and solvent. For solute we can take the example of salt, or we can take an example of sugar also, and here solvent will take the example of water. Water is a solvent and salt is a solute. When we mix both these, when we make the mixture of salt and water, that is the mixture of solute and solvent, then we call that mixture as the solution. Okay, so the solute and the solvent when mixes up, that mixture is called as solution. Here we took an example of salt as solute and the water is a solvent. When we take 100 ml of water in a beaker and when we add 1 spoonful of salt into it, then it becomes a solution. We can call this solution as a salt solution. So in this way the solution is prepared. Now what is the meaning of saturated solution? How do we know that the solution becomes saturated? What is the indication by which we can understand that the solution is a saturated one? So in the similar manner we'll make the solution by taking 100 ml of water and 1 spoon of salt. After making up the solution, when we add 1 more spoon of salt in it, then that spoon of salt, when it gets dissolved, again we'll take one spoon of salt. We need to add more amount of the solute in this solvent till the solute settles at the bottom. When the solute settles at the bottom, even after stirring, it is not getting dissolved in the solvent, then that type of solution we call as saturated solution. When we add more amount of the solute in the solvent till it settles at the bottom, then that type of solution is called as saturated solution. So this is about the solution and saturated solution. Solution को बनाने के लिए हमें solute और solvent की जरूरत रहेगी. Solute यानी कोई भी ऐसा solid जो solvent में dissolve हो जाए. Solvent यानी कोई भी ऐसा liquid जिसमें solute dissolve हो जाए. तो अब यहाँ पर हम एग्जाम्पल लेंगे सॉल्ट और वाटर का. सॉल्ट एक सॉल्यूट है और वाटर एक सॉल्वेंट है. जब हम सॉल्ट को वाटर में डिसॉल्व करेंगे तब सॉल्ट सोल्यूशन फॉर्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो इसके लिए द एडिशन ऑफ सॉल्यूट एंड सॉल्वेंट रिजल्ट्स इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ सोल्यूशन. तो यहाँ पर हमने बीकर में 100 ml वाटर लिया है और 1 स्पून सॉल्ट ऐड किया है. जब ऐड करने के बाद में इसको स्टिर करना है. स्टिरिंग के बाद में वो एक सोल्यूशन बन जाएगा जिसको हम बोलेंगे सॉल्ट सोल्यूशन. सो इन दिस वे द सॉल्यूट एंड सॉल्वेंट इज नीडेड टू प्रिपेयर अ सोल्यूशन. बात करेंगे सैचुरेटेड सोल्यूशन की. सैचुरेटेड सोल्यूशन को बनाने के लिए पहले तो हमें सोल्यूशन की ज़रूरत होगी. तो इसी तरह से पहले हम सोल्यूशन बना लेंगे, यानी 100 ml ऑफ वाटर में 1 फुल स्पून सॉल्ट ऐड करेंगे. इसके बाद में फिर सेकेंड स्पून भी सॉल्ट का ऐड करेंगे. इसी तरह से सॉल्ट को ऐड करते जाएंगे जब तक वो नीचे बीकर के बॉटम में ना रह जाए. स्टिर करने के बाद में भी वो डिसॉल्व नहीं होना चाहिए, तब तक हमें सॉल्यूट ऐड करना है. तो इस तरह के सोल्यूशन को जहाँ पर हमें सॉल्यूट नीचे बॉटम ऑफ द बीकर पर सेटल होता हुआ दिखाई देगा, तो उस टाइप के सोल्यूशन को हम बोलेंगे saturated solution. So the solution and the saturated solution is needed to perform the different activities in order to understand the mechanism by which the transport of materials takes place. Let us see how do we know the concentration of solution. How can we know the solution that one is more concentrated and this one is less concentrated? To know the concentration of solution, let us see one activity. We'll be taking 3 beakers. The first one will represent it as A, B and C. And in all these 3 beakers, we are going to pour 100 ml of water. So in all these 3 beakers, we poured 100 ml of water. That means the volume of water is a solvent. So the volume of a solvent is same. Now to know the concentration of the solution, in the beaker A, we will be adding half spoon of sugar. Sugar is a solute. So in the beaker A, half spoon of sugar is added. In the B1, 1 spoon of sugar, and in the beaker C, 1.5 spoon of sugar is added. Now after adding the solute, sugar is a solute. So after adding the solute into the solvent, it will become the solution. So to understand or to say which one is more concentrated, so the concentration of the solution is more in which the solute is more. The quantity of the solute varies from A to B to C. The concentration of the solution depends upon the amount or the quantity of the solute. So here in the beaker C, the amount of the solute is more when compared to the B, and in the B it is more when compared to the A. So the concentration of the A is less when compared to B, and B is less when compared to C. The more concentrated solution is in the beaker C, because in this beaker we have added 1.5 spoon of sugar, which is more when compared to the other beakers. So in this way, the concentration of the solution depends upon the amount or the quantity of the solute which is added in the solvent to make up the solution. Okay. So this is about the concentration of solution. हमें अगर कोई भी solution का concentration मालूम करना है तो हमने यहाँ पर एक activity की है concentration of solution के बारे में पढ़ने के लिए. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर 3 beakers लिए हैं और ये वाला बीकर है A, सेकेंड वन B है और थर्ड वाले बीकर को हम रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे C लेटर से. ओके, ये सारे तीनों बीकर्स में हमने 100 ml ऑफ वाटर लिया है. वाटर एक सॉल्वेंट है, तो सॉल्वेंट जो है तीनों का भी सेम वॉल्यूम पे है, लेकिन ए वाले बीकर में हमने ऐड किया है शुगर हाफ स्पून और बी में 1 स्पून शुगर ऐड किया है और सी में 1.5 स्पून ऑफ शुगर ऐड किया है। शुगर सॉल्यूट है, तब सॉल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट जब मिक्स होंगे तो सोल्यूशन फॉर्म होगा। अब ये 3 बीकर्स में कौन सा वाला सोल्यूशन मोर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड है वो पता लगाने के लिए हमें सॉल्यूट की क्वांटिटी मालूम होनी चाहिए। तो हमने देखा है कि सबसे ज़्यादा सी वाले बीकर में सॉल्यूट ऐड किया गया है, इसके लिए बीकर सी में जो भी सोल्यूशन प्रेजेंट है वो मोर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड है दूसरे वाले बीकर्स में जो सोल्यूशन प्रेजेंट है। अगर हम दूसरे वाले सोल्यूशन से कंपेयर करें तो ये जो सी वाले बीकर में सोल्यूशन प्रेजेंट है वो मोर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड है, क्योंकि इसके अंदर जो सॉल्यूट प्रेजेंट है वो मोर अमाउंट में प्रेजेंट है। तो इसके लिए द क्वांटिटी ऑफ द सॉल्यूट शोज द कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द सोल्यूशन। सो इन द बिगिनिंग आई टोल्ड यू दैट देयर इज सम mechanisms by which the transport of materials takes place across the cell membrane. So that's all for today. We'll continue in our next class. Thank you.